Hello YouTube, my name's Marie, and today I'm going to talk about the Chinese drama Accidentally in Love. So this series follows our female lead who is in disguise. She has run away from her engagement party and uses this disguise to enroll herself in the same college where her late parents had attended. And there, she makes friends, she makes enemies, and she also clashes with our male lead who is also a very popular idol. Now, I feel the need to give a little bit more context as to why I put this show on, because this is not usually a series that I would have been able to sit through and finish, but I put it on the day or day after I returned from Korea, and I was super tired, and I just needed something easy, something that did not require a lot from me as the viewer. Like, I didn't have to be actively watching, I could just put it on and let my brain wander. And if that's the kind of show that you're looking for, a very much low bar, passable time, this isn't an awful option. All of them. I'm not joking. All of the characters are ones that you've seen before, and the plot beats are incredibly predictable. So it is really just like a show that you can put on and not think too much about whatsoever. Now, what I liked about the show, because there has to be something if I was able to finish it, right? And looking at my notes, the first thing that I wrote down was that it's short. This series is about 30 episodes, and I think they're 25 to 30 minutes long. Very easy to binge and doesn't require anything from you. I did also like the dynamic between our two leads. However, their relationship isn't my favorite within the show. That spot actually goes to two of the side characters, but their relationship doesn't develop until later on, so I won't spoil who. However, as soon as they had their first interaction, like their first scene together, I could tell where it was going and I instantly shipped it. So those two are probably the most memorable part of the show, even though they're not the leads. There's also a short arc within the series where the college is putting on a play of Beauty and the Beast, and I thought that was some of the smartest writing within the show, because Beauty and the Beast, those characters, mimic in some ways our male and female lead, and they end up actually playing them, but gender swapping them, and I just loved that whole bit. And then also the mean girl, because I mean every show like this has to have a mean girl. She initially is cast to play Belle, but her acting is so over the top and awful. It was hilarious. Like, that whole bit about her acting and then the montage of just the dress rehearsals was hilarious to me. I loved it. I remember watching it and thinking oh, this is the best part about this show so far. That does lead me to kind of a negative, which I think the majority of the humor within the show doesn't land. It's thrown in there at the weirdest times. They'll be having a more serious conversation and actually starting to elevate the material and make it a little bit more interesting, because they're having heart-to-heart conversations that have substance to it, and then all of a sudden there's a gag thrown in there and it just feels so cheap. Biggest problem with this show doesn't happen until near the end, so I'll try not to spoil any specifics, but our mean girl, she is denied something that she desperately wants and attempts to commit suicide because of it. And while I really don't agree that any one person or thing can validate your life and make it worth living, I do understand that we're all human, and mental illness comes into play, and some people just they don't have the same coping skills as others. So the fact that she attempted suicide is not my problem. The problem is how the writers chose to handle her attempted suicide. And instead of like writing it so that the other characters respond with love and support and urge her to get like mental counseling that she needs, if you're attempting suicide, you need some mental counseling. They blame other characters and they put all of the emphasis on everybody else except for her. Like she's essentially a victim instead of a person with agency. And it works. And I just it's so awful. And I don't see a reason for it. There is absolutely no reason, valid reason. As a writer, like as a creative person by trade, like you're being paid to make up this story and to make it interesting and to like there's no valid reason why you need to use the threat of self-harm as a mechanism to get romantic drama. Like that just no. 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 And I was sitting there completely shocked by it and taken aback and just like, how did I get here? How did my very simple entertainment spiral into this problematic mess? And no. And I can think of multiple other storylines or subplots that could have taken up those 2, maybe 3 episodes that attempted suicide, self-harm, manipulation took up, and all of them would have actually deepened the story. For instance, they tease a little bit about our female lead's fiance, the one that she ran away from in the beginning. They tease him a little bit near the end as if he's going to do something, like become a new villain, but they kind of just drop it. Like, I don't remember how that was wrapped up. Like, I don't know if they even really did anything with him. They just like showed a couple scenes, and instead of having that attempted suicide, I would have much rather him like come back or something and cause drama that way. Like, why do you have to do that? No. So in the end, I'm going to give Accidentally in Love 2.25 out of 5 stars. I don't recommend it. I don't think you should watch it. I mean, I watched it, so you don't have to, okay? I think that the next Chinese show or Chinese drama that I'm going to attempt to watch is probably Guardian. I think that's what it's called. I'll put the title on the screen because I've had a couple commenters recommend it to me and I've heard really good things about it. So I'm gonna go in with really high expectations. So I hope that doesn't set me up for failure. That's it for me. Let me know if you've watched Accidentally in Love. It's on Netflix, so it's like extremely easily accessible. Let me know if you've watched it and what you thought of it, because I'm curious. And have a good day, have a good night, bye!